Hello everybody and welcome back to another shiny edition of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I am your host, EOF Gizmo, joined this week by Mass of Das.
Hello everyone.
And Mr. CW Lanky.
Hi Dave.
Boys, another week has passed. We're close to the summer. The football season is pretty much over. We're ready for...
It's never over.
Well, okay, we've got the Women's World Cup. So that's gonna be coming next.
The Club World Cup.
We've also
Dave?
got the Club World Cup.
Nations League, World Cup qualifiers.
The Club World Cup is such a non-real thing that Ginny Infantino went on iShowSpeed's stream yesterday to talk about the World Cup, the Club World Cup. iShowSpeed's stream, Craigo.
Yeah. That man wants it to be the most prestigious competition in the world, though.
He does. That's why iShowSpeed. That's why Ronaldo will play for someone, whether whether FIFA pay them to play for him or not. I would love it to be Man City. How funny would it be?
Could be. You can sign anyone for 2 weeks, so we could sign Van Dijk for 2 weeks. We could sign Ronaldo for 2 weeks.
You could probably get Nat Jarvis if he's still knocking around.
Yeah. Has Arsenal actually got anyone good? We can sign him for 2 weeks.
Now, Pengles, let's not use your hatred for Arsenal. That's what.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what Chloe's for. If she was here, Craig, you'd be getting abuse. But let's move on to video games and let's get to my favourite part of the show, the Chris Pengelly news desk. Time for some news.
You've given me 8 items here, Dave.
Baker's dozen.
Number 1, Xbox Witcher controllers have been announced for the 10th anniversary of Witcher 3. That's a standard controller and an elite controller. And I will segue to a pickup because I believe you've got one of these, Dave.
The name on the Witcher controller not only says Dave, but it also says Craig.
Ooh.
Because me and Craig have both bought one, haven't we, Craig?
Yeah, both came today, didn't they?
They did, one after the other. I don't know why there was such a gap, considering that we live maybe a minute's drive away.
Yeah, because mine came about, I don't know, like 12:15ish.
Which mine was like 10:10. So
yeah,
it was
very strange.
I was borderline like, hey, if there's one for a Craig Warren, you can just like drop that here and I'll walk it down. That was almost what I did. Craigo, you can go first because I suspect I'm going to talk a lot this show. Opinions of the sexy Witcher 3 controller. We both got the standard controller, I believe, yes?
Yeah, like I've said before, they always do these elite versions as well, but I don't live that life anymore. I'm not murdering people on Overwatch anymore. I've retired from that life. It's a peaceful life now, Dave.
You're that meme, aren't you? That Urso Star Wars Rogue One meme.
Yeah.
Like, man of your talents, single player games.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so I just went for the original. I love The Witcher 3. It's one of my favourite games of all time. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to buy this, and it does look incredibly nice in fairness to it. So very nice, like it's like mainly back, but does have a nice like silver D-pad, and it's got all the Witcher 3 icons on it as well, and it does look bloody beautiful. And just like my Doom controller, it come in like ridiculous amount of time. It's outrageous. I think Xbox and PlayStation are both similar for this, where I think my Last of Us and Helldiver controllers, like you order them and then like the next day you're like, oh yeah, it'll be arriving at this time. You're like, what? How's that happened? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm guessing they've both got really strong UK distribution sites, because some companies don't. So like Valve's is in Holland, so it takes a little bit longer. But like I agree with you, I've ordered stuff off PlayStation and Xbox, and it is quick. Nintendo, I'm not really sure. I think that they're half and half. Like I said, I had the free Switch that one time, didn't I? So
yeah, you can't complain.
I can't complain. But yeah, to back off Craig's stuff, I really like the controller. Really love that it's got a rubberized grip on the back, like the Forza controller. Right, it's the first one that did it. Really comfortable to hold.
Yeah, the Forza one's got like a steering wheel material on the back.
Yeah, that's got like actual like rubber, isn't it? Whereas this is kind of like a textured like thing.
Yeah, I got that on my blue one that I'm holding now.
Oh, nice.
Got the rubber on the back, so it must have been like all the special editions now or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny because obviously I've recently come back to Xbox, so I have just the standard controller that comes with the console. And I don't know, because I don't think you've used your standard one in a long time, Craig, but it does. There is a like genuine quality difference between the like basic coloured controllers that you get to the ones that were slightly more expensive, because this feels a lot more premium than the other one. Like the buttons are a little less clicky and the sticks are a little more rubber, like grips and stuff. But yeah, I much like Craig, I got the standard one. Really love it. It's really pretty. I've been using it today, and yeah, I do love the Xbox controllers, Craigo. They just make them. They're just very comfortable, aren't they? Very comfortable controllers.
Yeah, they always do a good job with the special editions as
Yes,
well.
they
always,
do.
like pop off really well.
I am a little bit confused why there isn't a PlayStation one or a Switch one, because obviously The Witcher is available on both of those consoles. The Witcher 3 has come out for both those consoles, so maybe we'll get a. If there's a rumored state of play, isn't there? So maybe we'll get a Witcher DualSense, but potentially. And I kind of have a bit of theory that we're going to get the Witcher 3 Switch 2 edition this year because of how much they've supported Cyberpunk. And obviously it's the 10th anniversary, so I would not be surprised for that as well. But yeah, that's story number one.
But did the Witcher 3 on Switch have like quality modes and performance modes and stuff like that?
They're really
So it may run better anyway on the Switch too.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's quite an expensive physical to get, because it is one that I would like to get, because I would be curious to see, like you said, how it did run on the Switch 2. But they are, other than the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, like the pure launch, they are a pretty good company for kind of supporting platforms and the fans, aren't they? So
yeah, because we obviously got a native like PS5 and series version of Witcher, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see it. I can also see it's like, oh yeah, you play the unlocked frame rate mode on your Switch 2. It's now 60 frames because of that extra
power. But when are we getting the Switch 1 remake news, Pengi? We know that they're making it. They've said they're making it. It was earmarked for this year. When are we hearing?
I don't know.
Yeah, because we only recently got the Witcher 4 like
trailer. Yeah.
The Game Awards. That was that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be playing that on our PS6s.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long way away, isn't it? So.
Yeah, they can take as long as they want, in my opinion, as long as they want.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sticking with Witcher, there's some new dynamic backgrounds on the Xbox Series S and X. One for Witcher 3, 10th anniversary, and one for Metaphor ReFantazio, which will be landing in Game Pass soon. That's one news that Dave didn't put on here.
I couldn't remember if we'd done Game Pass last week. It all rolls into one.
I think it was announced midweek.
Okay, I'll add that as we talk. Then carry on.
Yeah, I found it.
Good lad, Craiger. Pengi. Craiger, have you seen these dynamic backgrounds?
Yes, so I'm using the Metaphor one now, because that does look very nice. I hadn't checked the dynamic backgrounds in a while on Xbox, so there's actually loads of them that they've added since I last looked. There's a really nice Indiana Jones one as well, which I was like, oh, that's beautiful. I'm gonna have to switch to that at some point. I think there's a Space Marine 2 one, and I also believe there is a bolt gun one as well now. So yeah, there's actually quite a lot of new stuff and choices for people. So if you haven't had a look recently, I would definitely recommend just having a look, see, because yeah, there's some really cool ones out there. But yeah, the Metaphor one, even though I played on PlayStation, it is very pretty, so I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I'm using the Microsoft 50th anniversary one at the moment.
Right. Is that the XL one?
No, so it's
always in your heart, right, David?
Yeah, well, every day. No, it's a funny one. So it's a Microsoft 50th anniversary one, but it's got a big Microsoft coloured 50, it kind of looks like a Windows thing, but it's got the Fallout character and Marcus Phoenix, Doom guy.
Is that the one that's got the plane on it as well?
Yeah, the plane from Flight Sim.
Yeah,
it's got all of that stuff. And it's quite a pretty thing. It's quite striking on a HDR screen. But I am looking. There is some really good ones here, isn't there? They always put good stuff. And I always forget as well that they own World of Warcraft. There is a WWE 2K25 Undertaker one, Pengi. I don't know if that would be the one for you should you have an Xbox. But But yeah. Also, I did go on the flight sim one, like half expecting it to be like 9/11 or something, but that maybe is my dark mind at this point, boys. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, but anyway, Pengi, take us to the Warhammer showcase.
Yeah, so we had a Warhammer Skulls showcase. So the Skulls showcase is all their video game shenanigans. We got a Dawn of War remastered announced.
Yes, cricket.
That will be a pretty good one.
The best RTS. Don't even fight me. It's actually even better than Age of Empires 2, and I mean that with everything in my heart. So excited.
Command and Conquer Red Alert though is pretty.
It's pretty good, but nah, Dawn of War's so good, so good.
Yeah. Only one of them's got Tim Curry in it. You know what I'm saying. So.
Oh God.
Yeah. We also got Rogue Trader Season Pass 2 news and stuff like that. Which I think you've played some of that, haven't you, Dave? Some Rogue Trader?
Yeah, I'm 35 hours into Rogue Trader on the Steam Deck. It is on Xbox and PC Game Pass, and it's a CRPG it's more like something like XCOM combat-wise than it is Baldur's Gate, but it has all of the kind of like big like top-down RPG like exploration. It's really, really good. The Warhammer universe is the best universe, really, to be honest with you. And Rogue Trader is really, really, really good in terms of like its what's the word I'm looking for? Like its dialogue, its voice acting, its like kind of world building, and like its progression. Its RPG systems are really cool. So to have more content of a game that already had a lot of content, it did really well. So yeah, I think it won one of the Steam Deck awards last year, which is quite impressive for a licensed game, isn't it? Really, but yeah, they're doing more expansions. There's currently one that's come out. There is another one that's coming out either like this week or might have just come out. And then they're doing I think they're doing 3 more before they run into the next game you're going to talk about, Pengi.
Yes, so they also announced that same team, which is Owlcat. Dark Heresy is what they announced. Now, this was like a CGI trailer, wasn't it? From what I can remember.
It's a cartoon trailer that broke into like a gameplay trailer, I think.
Mm-hmm. As this is called Dark Heresy, is this in the Horus Heresy, like universe of Warhammer?
No. So from that trailer, it looks like it's an Inquisitor. Is the main character. Okay. You can tell by the big eye thing they have, and then they show a lot of Kroot, which is really fucking cool because Kroot is one of those like weird races that they don't tend to show in a lot of the Warhammer media. They've had a bit of a comeback recently. It basically looks like Rogue Trader, but without the like Rogue Trader aspect, because the aspect of Rogue Trader is that you are a Rogue Trader, so like you have a trade ship and stuff. Whereas this looks much more like you're an agent of the Imperium, like you build your army. You almost like you take the characters from Darktide and you control them in an RPG. I think this looks really good. It definitely looks like it's got a bigger budget, Pengi. Definitely, because they Owlcat make those type of games. They made a series called Pathfinder, which is kind of like Pillars of Eternity, that kind of level. So it's really cool. They've been clearly given a bigger budget to basically make a bigger budget Rogue Trader style game. So yeah, really excited for that one. And I think that has been announced for all of the consoles. I don't know about Switch 2, but it has been announced for Xbox and PlayStation as well as PC. So definitely a game I'm going to get.
There was a load of mobile. You haven't put it. There was a load of mobile stuff and updates for some old.
Yeah, I kind of tried to put the stuff in that I think we would care about, but there is quite a lot. They seem to be doing. Well,
because one of them showed a trailer. This is why I remember. It was a card game, but it was like the Purple Space Marines, which are kind of like Chaos, but aren't Chaos. They look a bit alieny as well. They didn't have helmets on. I can't think what they're called.
The Emperor's Children?
Yeah, I think it was them. But I was like, oh, cool, that's different and stuff like that. And but it's in like a weird card game, so and then they lost all interest.
Yeah, I have that. They had a card game called Warp Forge. I don't know if that's the same one that was on. I have it on Steam Deck. But yeah, the anecdote extra before we talk about the other games they announced is that Warhammer, Craig, has become so popular since the pandemic that they have just issued a £20 million bonus to be spread out amongst all their employees. Games Workshop, because they have made so much money that they're like, oh, we want to thank our staff. The £20 million spread out. It's not that big a company. It's like 1,000. I think it worked out something like £13,000 worth of value if you did it like straight up. But yeah, that is how popular Warhammer is now.
Yeah, you can see how popular it's like. You're watching the circus. There's like every sort of game that you can basically imagine that they've got something either already out or coming out.
Yeah.
It's like you want a strategy game, they got something. Shooter, they got something. Mobile games, they got something. Like card games, there's just everything on there.
Where's my 3D platformer though, Craig?
You just want a nice furry 3D platform, don't you, Pengi?
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think
Away
how
from
that
all
would...
the war and chaos. Some peaceful land in the galaxy.
There's no peaceful land in Warhammer 40,000. That's the whole point.
Where's the cozy game?
God.
Where's the Warhammer cozy game? That's what we want.
So they also announced Bolt Gun sequel, Bolt Gun 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember the name of it, but there is a free version of Bolt Gun.
I have started downloading it.
Well, the free
on my Steam. Yeah.
yeah. It's typing. It's basically typing of the dead, Craig. So in typing of the dead, instead of it was like House of the Dead, but instead of shooting people, you type the words that came up above the enemy's heads.
Yeah, I did see the trailer of this. It does look.
So they put it out completely for free.
At typing.
Well, this is how you get better. That's how you get better, Craig. Yeah. But I've tried it a little bit. It's really fun, and obviously it's a Bristol-based studio, Bolt Gun, and we live in the southwest. I used to live in Bristol, so it's kind of like, oh, well, that's actually really cool. And Bolt Gun did really fucking well, so I'm not surprised it's got a sequel. I own Bolt Gun and I have it installed, but I need to get to it. I haven't played the DLC either. I know it's one that you've had your eye on, Craig.
Yeah, definitely. It must have done well because it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it still seems like constantly relevant now. I can't imagine it cost a huge amount to make.
No, it's not. It's
honestly.
not a big studio, Orok. Not a big studio at all. So
It does look very good.
They also announced Mechanicus 2, which is another top-down. This one is extremely much. It's a turn-based, like that's much more XCOM-y. If you like it, and then the big one, Pengi, Space Marine 1
yeah.
remastered, Mastercrafted Edition. That's what it's called.
Yes.
But for some reason, Pengi, it's an Xbox console exclusive. It's on PC, but
yep.
it is an Xbox console exclusive, and it's coming to Game Pass, Craigo, on June 10th, and you can preload it now. It's 44 gigs.
Fantastic.
I wonder how much it is if you don't buy it on Game Pass.
I can pull it up now.
I've got the Xbox app open because I'm currently downloading Doom
Nice.
because I had Doom installed and then I thought I had it. It's being very PC. I thought I had it like actually I don't. I haven't got an option to buy it on Game Pass.
No, you actually
Xbox.
don't on the main Xbox store yet, which is curious. but
It's
you can
not available, but you can pre-install it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can pre-install it on Game Pass. That's strange.
It looks really cool, doesn't it? It definitely looks like a remaster, but they've also modernised some bits of it as well, like controls and the weapon switching and stuff like that, which I imagine they're just going to make the feel more like you're playing Space Marine 2, right? Kind of make it parallel to that.
Yeah, they've added all the DLC, which is really cool. And you have all the multiplayer, which is a really fun. The multiplayer, the 8v8 multiplayer character is really fun. The curious thing is the original game was published by Sega, and this remaster is also published by Sega, not who did the
Focus Media.
Focus Media that did the sequel. So I'm assuming that's why it is a Game Pass deal, because obviously Sega has a Game Pass contract, hence why Metaphor's coming on it, and all the Yakuza games have been.
Yeah.
But yeah,
With Metaphor, they announced it as it was like looked like it was an Xbox exclusive, and then it was like 3 days later, no, it's also coming to everything else. So it could be the same deal.
yeah, 100%. And it doesn't make any sense for it not to be. I'm hoping if it is, it's crossplay, because the multiplayer is really fun. So I'm hoping you can get lots of.
Has it
people
got
in.
the multiplayer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, multiplayer and all the DLC, and it supports crossplay. It says here on the store, so that's great. That's really good news. It's really Space Marine 1 is really good. I've never finished it. I've played it quite a few times, like to the mid thing, and then just fallen off it because I've had other things to play. But it's a really fun, much like the sequel. It's a much Gears of War-y type of like third-person shooter. It's a little bit more simple than 2, my understanding, but it's cool because it's the same characters, so it leads into Space Marine 2. So it's cool that you can do that, and I'm hoping that we can get Space Marine 2 on Game Pass, so then I can just play both. But yeah, really excited for this one, and I have got it installed, and I will be playing it when it comes out.
Yeah, see, I own Space Marine Anniversary Edition on Steam, but I just see it was like any free upgrade. So, and then I would have the
Yeah, I also went on
you know,
Steam, but I haven't
PC
even looked. I assume. I don't know really. I don't know what to assume. I don't know what to believe, Krogo.
No. Well, it's got it down as Sega now, where the old one had it down as Relic as the publisher. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Warhammer
Warhammer
will
was.
be jumping in on that. Though, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Pengi, as we played 2 last year and loved it, didn't we? So.
Mhm. Yeah, one from what I remember is obviously a bit older in style and that. I haven't played it since the 360, where 2 did have a bit of a, more budget, etc. But yeah, it would be cool to try back. And then, like the worst case, if it does feel too old or whatever, it's on Game Pass, and not a huge lot lost. Bolt Guns look cool. I have got Bolt Gun installed on PlayStation Vita Plus, so I may play that soon. The typing one, Word of Vengeance, is only about half an hour long from what I can see, so that'd be a fun little silly game to try at some point.
Oh yeah.
Sticking to Xbox, one of their games is coming to the PS5, and that's Hellblade 2 as an enhanced edition. The enhanced edition is coming to Xbox and PC as a free update. Haven't really said what that is, because the only details we got was it's going to use the DualSense and it's going to be a PlayStation Pro update patch or whatever. So what is enhanced on standard PS5, Xbox, like let's say Series S and PC, I don't know, but there is going to be DualSense support and Pro support as well for Hellblade 2, which I think is pretty soon. It's sometime in June, I think, from what I remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a fairly soon thing. And again, it makes sense. The first game was also on PS4, so it makes sense to have the whole series in one place.
Does we do have a date? I just think it's coming this summer. Comes this summer, according to the trailer. Unless there is a date at the very end. You can wishlist it now. So
Right,
no date.
No day.
Yeah, me and you both played it, Craig. I think we both got the 1000G on it, didn't we, as well?
Yeah, I think we both got the completion.
Yeah,
It's
and
one of
we
my
both-
favourite games of last year. I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought
me
it
and
was
you
brilliant.
both really liked it, and weirdly, I think it will go down pretty well on PlayStation. It's more of a PlayStation-y game, being third-person, story-driven, stuff like that. And I think there could be some good uses of the DualSense and stuff, like how Senua swings her sword and like using the triggers and how that all feels, and the rumble and all that stuff.
It'd be interesting to see
Yeah.
what they've enhanced for like PlayStation 5 Pro as well, because that is already the best looking video game I've ever played. Like I said when I played it last year, it is breathtaking how good that game looks. So
The rumor is the enhanced patch for all the consoles is there is now 60 frames mode. Because I remember people
That's
kicked
very
off
cool.
there wasn't a 60 frames mode, even though the game is very story driven, very cinematic.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It needs to
No,
be.
you don't need it. It's fine.
You don't
Yeah.
need it. But that is the rumor. There's now going to be a 60 frames mode and stuff coming to like all the like consoles. But what beyond
Price
that,
will be
like
interesting again
like-
as well for this.
you don't need 120 frames mode.
No, God no.
So I don't really know what you do on the Pro, because I'm guessing it was 4K 30 on like the Series X, and I guess it would be the same on the PS5. So I don't really know what you do. Like better textures, I guess, ray tracing maybe on the puddles and stuff like that. That's about all I can really think you can do with this on the Pro. Unless it's going to be like Holistic Protocol, you suddenly have an 8K 30 frames mode or something, but I doubt that.
No, I doubt that. Yeah, like, The game's not particularly long. Like I think
No.
for me getting the completion was about 9 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, pricing will be interesting because that's one thing. Whereas obviously we played it in Game Pass, didn't we? So
It's
you know,
$49.99 on PC, or you can currently buy it for $39.99 because I got 20% off Game Pass
okay.
deal thingy. Yeah, so it's 50 quid. So it's the same price of Oblivion and that.
Nice.
So there. Dave, I guess you're now back on Xbox. You try Hellblade 2 or something?
Absolutely
Or
not,
still not?
Pengi. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I tried the first game a couple of times and just didn't. It's not my type of game, is it? Let's be brutally honest.
Yeah.
So it looks cool, and I'm glad that obviously you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, it's not my type of game, so I'm not gonna. It doesn't affect me. It's cool that it's coming to more platforms, because it's cool that games can be everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go into the Game Pass editions for May. This is in release order. So Monster Train 2, that was available from 21st of May, so that's already out. Craig, have you
I
played
should
this?
have picked this up. No, I should have picked this up on bloody Fantasy. I had it watch listed on Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what this is, by the way. I just literally I saw the first one reviewed really well, and I was like, oh, I should pick that up, and I completely forgot. And I think it's now come out. I think it's some sort of like roguelike card deck builder thing,
Yeah.
which I know is obviously a game that whatever they could release hot shit and whatever it is, it's gonna get a fucking 90, isn't it? Because I think the game's on 87 or something ridiculous like that. So
Yeah.
I've hooked
So
up there,
that's
boys.
on Ultimate, PC, Cloud, etc. Then you got Creatures of Ava. That is now on Standard. That was available from 22nd. So that's been out on Ultimate for a while. I haven't played it. Then you got Stalker 2. That is now in Standard. That's from the 22nd. Got Tales of Kinsara Zell. That is now in EA Play, so it means it's in Ultimate and PC Game Pass. So it'll obviously also be on PlayStation if you had an EA Play account. It was in Plus anyway, I think, from what I remember. Oh no,
Yeah,
left
it
Plus.
launched,
it
they
launched in
were.
Plus and then left.
Yeah, it's left Plus, and now it's just gone into another subscription service with EA Play. So there's that one.
Really good. I would strongly recommend that one. Was it last year that game came out? It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that last year.
Mm-hmm. On the 27th, you've got Tom Clancy's Division 2 coming to Standard.
So I was really confused by this, Pengi, and then I've actually looked into it. There's loads of new DLC coming out for it. Like the actual expansions. As I saw the achievements have gone live on Xbox as of like this week. But yeah, there's actually lots of new content. That game it's basically done a what was the weird fighting game they did, Pengi? Fuck.
For Honor.
For Honor. You know, like For Honor, everyone was like, oh, that game's dead. It came out ages ago. And then it's not, because it keeps getting content and people keep playing it. The Division 2, apparently, like has got a really high player base and has maintained it. And has had an Xbox and PS5 patch, I believe.
Possibly.
But
then on
An extraction shooter mode as well, isn't it? For the, you know.
Yeah.
If you want a marathon alternative.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Then on the 28th, possible Slave Plot 3 Game of the Year to a T for Ultimate.
Yes. I've already seen there's an article on True Achievement saying looks like it's going to be an easy 1000G as well, boys.
Oh,
So there's no
dream.
excuse. There's no excuse.
No excuse. We all want to see us singing Giraffes. Then on the 29th, is Metaphor ReFantasio. That is coming to Game Pass Standard. Obviously it's on the other ones as well. So I'm guessing it was already in Game Pass. Now it's
No,
in
it
Standard,
wasn't.
or was it launching straight into Standard?
It's launching into Standard.
That's pretty good, because Standard's normally stuff that's been out for ages and then just gets added to Standard like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Then on 29th, I think it's launching into Game Pass, is Spray Paint Simulator.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be on Ultimate. You got Crypt of Custodina on the 3rd of June. That's on Ultimate. And then you got Symphonia, not Castlevania, Symphony of Night or Tales of Symphonia. Very disappointing. But you got a game called Symphonia coming the 3rd of June for Game Pass Standard. And that's all the Game Pass games coming. So I guess we're looking forward to a T, and that's about it really. A metaphor for you, Dave.
I mean, I think it's a pretty good month.
Plus, obviously, this is just what they've announced so far. We know FBC's coming, we know Rematch is coming, and Space Marine are all coming in June as well. So
Yeah, and like I haven't played Tales of Kinzera Sal, so that would be a tempting one to play because I know that you guys have talked really high of it. Monsters Train 2 isn't for us, but it appears to be pretty well received. But yeah, for me, Metaphor is definitely the one I want to play. I'll try to a T because I like all his other games. And then obviously into next month it's Space Marine and whatever. I think ZZZ comes out start of June as well. That has some sort of has a Game Pass perk, so might be one to try. But
yeah, you love those whitefish games.
Well, I was reading about them because I was like, it keeps popping up on Game Pass, Genshin Impact, and I'm like, what even? I've never even looked. Like, what the fuck even is these games? And I was like, okay, so they're actually they're action RPGs, but Genshin is like really open world, and ZZZ isn't. It's more story driven. I was like, okay, and Honkai's turn based, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Will I ever get time? Probably not, because Metaphor's 120 hours on its own, right? So, but yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Craig? What do you think of Game Pass this month?
Yeah, it's been a very good month, isn't it? All in all.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Doom in there as well. So yeah, it's been a good year so far for them, and yeah, it's definitely been a good month. And like I said, it looks like next month is pretty strong as well. So
yeah, and obviously we have
train keeps rolling.
And obviously we have the showcase, don't we, in June? So you would probably assume that something else will come out in June.
Yeah,
or
that's
early
most
July.
probably when they'll put out like the next graphic, like on their X account when they showed this. I expect that's when they're doing it. And they're like, this is what's coming to Game Pass, and they'll have Space Marine listed on it for the 10th, and then they'll have Call of Duty Black Ops 7 or whatever it is listed for October or something on there.
Yeah, I think obviously now that the hang on, let me get. Let's go to next. We did the FTC. Did we talk about the FTC yet?
No.
So the FTC thing has been dropped. So everyone knows. But because it's been dropped, I am kind of expecting a few more Activision games to come to Game Pass, Pengi, and maybe Tony Hawk's 1+2. Maybe that would make sense for June.
That's actually reminded me. Out this week was Retro Classics from Xbox, in partner of Antstream.
Yeah.
Called Antstream, and it's basically just 60 Activision games from the Atari 2600, but it is a thing that is now available. So, like you said, if you can add more games to it and stuff like that, like his random SNES Activision game or something, and his Lost Vikings from Blizzard, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so I know that I think you have as well, but I've actually played that Retro Classic thing they put out, and it's a lot more than I thought it was, really, because they had it has PSX and SNES written on it, which is wild to me, because you've got the PS1 version of Mech Warrior 2, and a couple of SNES games. It's even got Sierra big box PC games. It had the Space Quest games and stuff, which is crazy, but
so they could add Siberia and stuff.
It's one of those, like, it's a really obvious thing, I think, having a retro like app, but because they own so many IP and old games, like what they can and seem to be willing to put on it could actually be quite a
I just thought they could put they can put Hexen on it, Dave.
Well, they could. That's what I mean. It's like, like the stuff that they've ever published, like like that group.
But would we get the PlayStation version, or would we get the Sega Saturn version?
Whatever runs the best, right? I'd imagine it. If it was going to be one of those two, it'd be PS1, because PS1 emulators are easier to use, right?
I played that weirdly on Saturn, so
yeah, it's just like the whole emulation for Saturn is really difficult, I think, because of its weird dual Motorola GPU. But yeah, anyway, nerdy shit. Carry on.
Retro games, anything for do anything for you, Craigie?
No.
Easy achievements. I got like 100 gamer scores, basically booting it up.
I got 200 Gs, and I used one of the achievements as my new Xbox icon, my new game tag. I did. This is an aside. I'm on my Xbox at the minute. I just noticed I couldn't see what Simon's was when it was small, Craig. Do you know what it is now?
No.
It's the Spurs team lifting the Europa League.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, I thought that would amuse you. You can see that now every time you log into your Xbox. Just to remind yourself.
Hmm. Next news item. There's a Monster Hunter Cross Street Fighter event happening soon. We're getting Akuma as like weirdly as like, sort of as a character because it looks like you can actually do fighting moves and stuff like that, not just the skin. There is costumes for Alma where you can dress her up as either Cammy or Chun Li. There's a Blanca costume for your Palico and all that good stuff. But this is the first crossover event for Monster Hunter Wilds. So, Craig, you jumping back in? You're gonna buy your Cammy outfit for Alma?
No. But I do need to jump back in at some point because I should probably definitely catch up on that game. It's very fun, isn't it? So I
Yeah.
just need a bit of time maybe
Yeah.
get in there and play some more Monster Hunter. But I imagine poor Alma is going to be. These stick fucks love Chun-Li, don't they?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they're both pretty sexual, those two characters. Cammy traditionally has been more revealing, but I don't know if they still do her as revealing nowadays. Pengils will be able
Not
to tell
really.
me.
Not really.
No.
No.
It's Kylie Minogue in the film. A very young Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
stuff. Great stuff for you to Google, Craig.
Yeah. Yeah, I might go back. I should have gone back this week. I don't know if it might have lost now. They were doing a cool scarf that you could get as a headgear, even though it's a scarf that is.
Is it
they're
a
part
Chris
of
Jericho crossover, or?
No, no, just it was actually a bit more like a journey sort of scarf
Oh, no.
or Strider. You know, like a
I feel like
really
that's probably
long one.
probably what it would have been, because Strider is Capcom,
Yeah,
right?
that's why I thought of it. Thing, but yeah, it was just like an event quest. You had to get some coupons or something to get it, and I haven't done it. Might still be up. I don't know. What isn't going to be up soon though is PlayStation Stars is shutting down, Davey.
But how is my digital Jim Ryan bobblehead going to live on, Pengi?
Well, that's going to live on, I believe, but they ain't gonna after sometime in July. They're not going to add any more quests or anything, but you can still earn. I think you can still earn money and still redeem like the currency up until November 2026. So if I was to go buy, let's say Hellblade 2 on my PlayStation 5 digitally, I believe I will still earn the coins for that, and I can still buy what's available on there. It's just obviously by the time comes November 2026. What's going to be available on there is either going to be very old, or I expect they've even been pulled, like Path of Exile 2 early access as a reward will not be on there. 2026, for instance, you would think. And then they have plans to do some sort of new loyalty thingy coming. Yeah.
Because Nintendo, they've changed theirs or announced theirs.
Yeah, they basically got rid of theirs as well.
They're going to change theirs as well at the same time. So there's got to be some sort of data that's shared that people maybe aren't using these board games. So I don't even know what this is. I have literally no idea what this even is. So maybe just try and make it more appealing to use.
Yeah, I think obviously getting money back for buying games is obviously you get 4% I think back from buying games. It's not huge, but you get 1,200 coins, you get a fiver. I think it's more like the challenges and stuff. Where obviously there must be some data. Like you get challenges like play Street Fighter, for instance, you get 50 gold coins, or you get a Cammy figure, digital figure, and things like that. I guess they've seen the data and like no one's interacting with them, and there's got to be someone at PlayStation that's typing that description and making the Cammy statue figure and stuff. And obviously, I guess that's not worth paying that person to do that anymore. Thoughts, Davey?
Yeah, they've never got the reward system right, have they, Sony, really? And hopefully, like I said, they keep trying. it's difficult because I know the world we live in, everything's getting tighter and that. But I've always quite enjoyed these reward systems for Xbox's Microsoft rewards and Nintendo's gold coins, especially during the Wii U era. It can't cost the companies that much, so I just I do always hope for that little bit of extra. And they don't have to do it, but it's one of those like any incentive to buy and play more games seems like a positive for everyone, right? But yeah, no, again, PlayStation Stars has never been good, so hopefully whatever they replace it with is.
And then the
think
last
giving
news.
the incentive for like digital as well, is something you'd like to see like growing, especially as everyone's moving more and more digital now. Because it is a bit strange when you're paying the same price digital for physical, isn't you? Like, it'd be nice to have some sort of kickback in some way.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then the last news item, Mario and Rabbids team, which I believe is Ubisoft Milan,
Yes.
are hiring for a AAA Rayman project. So we're all excited for Ubisoft to bring back Rayman.
They'll inevitably cancel it or do something mad, won't they?
I'm still waiting for that Splinter Cell remake they announced like 3 years ago.
Where's Beyond Good and Evil 2, Pengi?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They even teased what stuff in the Beyond Good and Evil anniversary. There's there's content in that game for Beyond Good and Evil 2, but where's that game? Who knows? Who knows? I know. Stop making
we want more
crappy Star
Rayman,
Wars
don't we?
games. We want
We
more
want
Beyond
more
Good and
Rayman.
Evil. We also
Rayman.
want more Rayman. We do want more Rayman. Dave, you want
This
more
is
Rayman?
not the team that made the first two, is it? Well, I said
No.
the first two, the last two, sorry.
The EB Arts
No.
games? No, I don't think so.
Because they got shut down, didn't they? Or something, so.
Yeah, and Michel Ancel, for reasons as well. So yeah, I guess David Day or whatever his name is a good choice to gift the game to.
Absolutely.
And that is all the news.
Well, thank you, Pengi, as always, for giving us the news. Yeah, as we get closer to the new console coming out, I'm sure the news will change, but it's been a very Xbox heavy couple of weeks. I would imagine that means we're probably getting close to a pretty heavy PlayStation week fairly soon. But before we can even think about that, Craigo,
There is rumours of a state of play sometime in June, isn't there?
there is.
Now from Jeffy Grubb.
But before
They kind of need one, don't they? They kind of need.
I think they need to. Again, I get accused quite often, and often correctly so, as being a bit of a hater when it comes to Sony. But I feel like they are peak late PS2, early PS3 arrogant Sony at the moment. I think they need to get a bit more perspective, get some more good things out for their player base, get some more games out, some more cool, like exciting events, right? Because that's the Sony that everyone fell in love with.
Because the live service push has kind of killed them, hasn't it?
I think financially it's worse than we think it is in terms of what
reeling from that. It's just wasted time as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, how many of these studios have just been wasting time making these live service push games that we're never even going to see now, and then they're now frantically, I imagine, trying to come up with what they're going to start working on next. And, it takes, we know with modern games, it takes bloody ages, doesn't it? It takes bloody ages. I think that's kind of why we're.
Yeah. The only thing is, I got a weird feeling. The state of play we'll see. Ghost of Yotei again because it's out in October, and I know they've dated it and stuff. They could turn a little bit more of that. Staros is supposed to have gameplay this year at some point, but that could be at the Game Awards, seeing that game's coming in 2026. But that, and then I think it's mostly third-party partners and stuff like. Where's Resident Evil 9 or something? Resident Evil often shows up at PlayStation. I can see it being like that sort of thing. In a state of play, which is obviously a big game and stuff like that. But
yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a little bit away before we start seeing the constant flow of like the big. When we were in the tail end of PS4 and there was just endless big first-party Sony games coming out. So we're gonna be
The
a little
only
while
like
before we're back to
one
that.
is Wolverine.
Well, you got Yotai this year. That's definitely happening, right? So, Intergalactics
Death
are now.
Stranding 2 could be shown again, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously I know it's difficult with Death Stranding because you'd assume it's going to come to other platforms later on. But even then, like you got Ghost of Yotai, the third-person action game. You've got Death Stranding 2, the third-person action game. You've got Intergalactic, the third-person action game, and you've got Saros, the third-person action game. All of their
What do you reckon Wolverine's gonna be, Dave?
well, be a third-person action game. You got your live service push, and everything is dead apart from Marathon at the moment, which we would imagine would come out. Fair Games is going to be dead on arrival, and then they've got that unannounced Gummy Bears game that Pengos goes on about. But obviously,
Yeah,
Bungie's had so many cuts, you don't even know if that we'll see that. So
They could show. Oh, they could show the Star Wars Destiny 2 content.
yeah, again, that's it's difficult because obviously that's obviously big multi-plat vibes as well. And it's like, again, not to be. I know I've always accused of it being the PlayStation hater, but I do look and go like, ooh, like Craig said, that
Flag
live
matter
that
from Capcom.
that live service push has really damaged their output. So you'd like to think they've got enough reserve to go back, and even if they just did the what works, which is the remaster thing, right? That's the thing that works the most with these companies. If you're in a bit of a dire straits, they can turn around and go, well, here's a Ratchet and Clank remaster collection, here's Resistance, here's Infamous, bloody blah, and like see if that works. Because you think what's come out this year is Days Gone remastered came out this year. Did Last of Us 2 do this year, or was that last year?
That was last year.
Right, so they
No, the PC version was this year.
PC version was this year. So you kind of like, okay, so what have they actually got coming? There's got to be stuff, right? So they've already kind of remastered all the PS4 stuff again. So it's with Horizon, Last of Us, and Days Gone now. So
There's also, I guess they could show the Monster Hunter Horizon game, for instance.
yeah, again, it's the live service push. Again, it's a third-person action game, but it's difficult. The fun Sony isn't a thing at the moment. I think that's my frustration.
God of War game that Jeff is talking about, like the weird Greece, possibly a remaster, remake,
and guess what?
side story
Guess what
thing.
type of game that is, Pengi?
Third person action game.
Yeah, so like you know what I mean. Like it's not to be cynical, but like if you compare it to the other two platform holders that are making different genres, even if I don't like third person action games on PlayStation, I ain't got a lot to play that isn't on everything else, have I? It's like it does frustrate me. And then I think you can see it in that the Xbox games that have been put out onto that platform are the ones that are at the top of all the sales charts because they're genuinely different. Like there is nothing like Forza Horizon 5. I know we all love that game and we'll all sing its praises forever, but there isn't anything like that apart from that game. Like can't really argue with Oblivion remastered. That game is sold so well. It's outsold. Yeah, didn't it outsell? I think it was something like in 12 days it outsold what the previous version of the game had done in something like 18 months or something silly. But yeah, I do worry for our friends PlayStation because the world's changing. So they've made one bet that's not worked off. So you kind of have to hope that the next set of bets is good because it's hard to just be like, oh well, the PS6 will be successful. It's like, well, everything can come crumbling down if you don't have stuff coming out, right? There's so many PS4 owners that haven't got to PS5. So, but anyway, that was a side content to what we're now going to talk about. And that was a pre-rant. Let's get to the real rant. Chris Pengelly, talk to us about your experiences, your feelings, your everything. And me and Craig will just listen.
So I've been thinking about it the last few days, and today I had cancelled all my Switch 2 games via Game Collection. So they have been cancelled. That's all 600
Which was
games.
quite a lot, wasn't it? Was it 3 games?
Yeah, all Pardon?
How many games was it?
3.
Okay.
So it was Cyberpunk User and Rune Factory. So it was both 3 games. So I cancelled those 3 games. And then I went into town because I had pre-ordered my Switch 2 in store. Decided I was going to cancel my Switch 2 pre-order as well. Sort of thing, not just the games. So I went into the store, went to the customer service desk. This is our local Curry store. It's one of the few places where you can actually buy something like that in store now as well. And the customer service there was like, I thought my pre-order of Switch 2, I would like to cancel Switch 2. They're like, oh, we've had like no one ever like tried to cancel a pre-order before. So the woman has a go pre-order, cancelling it, does not let her cancel it. So you should get some guy over. He's like, oh, okay, I'll let me have a look on, like, I can't remember what they called it. He was looking on his phone, it was some, like, emails or something. Yeah, couldn't figure out how to get it, so I went full Karen for you, Craig. I asked to speak to the manager, Craig.
Of course you did.
I
Of
did
course
ask
you
to speak
did,
to
Pengi.
it. Manager, get the manager. They tried again, and they could have put it on a gift card. The reason because they managed to get it up, but it obviously says my pre-order was over 30 days ago, and over 30 days ago, you can't get a refund. You can get a gift card. So it's like, right, I'll take all your details. We've passed it on to, I think they called it Medic, as in like their like in-store help desk, who are off at the moment because it's a bank holiday coming up soon in the UK. So let me tell me all your details. Get hold of this medic team, and we'll get back to you basically. So at the moment, I still have a Switch 2 pre-ordered in there. I still have a receipt. And the woman I originally was like, oh, it's only like a week and a half away. Worst case, you can like come in, get your Switch 2, and then just return it right away, and then I would get a refund because it would be a new product SKU, and it would actually be a product that have. The problem is the SKUs don't work. It thinks it's a weird pre-order with like a value of like either nothing or like £9,999 recurring. So yeah, they couldn't figure out how to refund the weird pre-orders. So
You're just like, just give me the £9,000, baby.
yeah, just give me the yeah, but it would have been 9,909. Yeah, gift card. I'll take all your tallies that you've got.
How many you got?
How many have you got?
I kind of feel like £9,000 worth of tellies is not as many tellies as we think it is.
It's 10 tellies.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I was like,
10.
oh, I'm sure Pengi would have got the biggest, best telly, and that's probably like a couple of grand.
Let me just go rent a trailer a minute, guys.
The LTG5 is out and it's 2,400 quid, so I only got one of them at least. Yeah, so yeah, that is my curry Switch 2 story. So I might hear back from them. Knowing companies like them and stuff, I doubt I hear anything. So I will.
No, they ain't ringing you, Pengi. If you don't ring them, they ain't ringing you, buddy. That's how this
so
works. You know
the
that.
guy was
You work
like,
in
if you've
retail.
not heard from us by Friday, come in on Friday. So yeah, but then it's like Friday, the thing's out the 4 days later on the Thursday or whatever it is. So it's like, yeah, doing what the woman said of coming and returning it actually seems like the most likely thing to happen at this point.
Did they look at you like you were mental? That's what I'm envisioning in my head.
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I think
So they're like the first person that's tried returning like a pre-order. That seems pretty.
Mm.
I think the main.
I guess the
Go on.
the
You're going to say
important
it,
thing here.
They said the last
it's more
thing
the
they had.
why.
The last thing they had,
issue?
had pre-order was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So I guess like that'd been like 60, 70 quid. I guess most people wouldn't on about think about taking like tried to cancel the pre-order. Well, like the Switch 2, 530 quid is obviously a little bit different. So I guess you would see other people maybe wanting to cancel it because it's a lot of money. You might have had something come up that you need like 500 quid or something for.
But yes.
Yeah. So what's made you? What's made the big change of heart then, Pengi?
Just not that bothered. A lot of things Nintendo are doing, I don't really like as well.
What are these
like
things, then, Pengi? You know, it's a
So the
podcast.
game-
Talk to us.
Yeah,
game
let's
key
see.
cards. So I don't like the game key cards that they're doing thing. So the lack of proper physical media, I don't like that. I don't like they're charging 75 quid for games like Mario Kart. I know it comes bundled with Mario Kart Christmas bundle with the console and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be the first of many. We've already seen other studios like could have put it in the news. We didn't, like with the Borderlands 4 being $80, and you find that Randy Pitcher going, "Oh, you find a way to spend $80 on that game if you're a real fan." I can easily see Zelda 3 or whatever the third one. But yeah, this is 75 quid as well, which I don't like. The upgrade packs for games, and you can go, "Oh, PlayStation does it," but it's £16 for the Kirby upgrade. £16, Craig. That's the same price as Fast Fusion and £2 change. But that. They haven't fixed the stick drift as far as we were aware on the Joy-Cons, stuff like that. The poor communication, like VRR is a thing. No, it's not a thing. It is a thing. It's not a thing, and stuff like that. And then like the lack of games, like Mario Kart World is a big game at launch and stuff like that. But if you look at the other ones, I did have pre-orders. Like Yakuza is cool, but I could go buy that on Steam now for most probably about £3, and it's first on Nintendo Switch, so there's most probably an Xbox, a PC version, a PS5 version coming of that game, and I would not be shocked if it was actually on the disc or something on PS5. Cyberpunk, I feel I was only getting because it was the physical. I was like, want to support them because they are doing a physical, but I have actually played that game. So it really just used left Room Factory as well. It's like one of the few launch games. Like, I've not played this. This is brand new. It's not an actual physical game sort of thing. I know Donkey Kong's a month later, but I do feel spending 450 quid or whatever it is on a console to have one game for a month in Mario Kart World is a bit silly until Donkey Kong comes out. So my thinking was the original plan, if you remember, Craig, and when there was a bunch of games I wanted to play on it. So Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Pokemon, Metroid, and they actually are out, and I just buy those 4 games. So Metroid's out, I pre-order a Switch, well, not pre-order, buy a Switch 2, and I add to my basket Metroid, Pokemon, Mario Kart, and Donkey Kong, and do it like that way.
But it sounds like we've gone back to the X amount of games, Chris Pengelly. We've gone full circle.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone back to where we started.
Yes.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, even Rune Factory, like you're saying, like you had that little faith in that game that you can't have picked it on fantasy.
Yeah, I don't think it'd actually be that good. I think it'd be like a 70, like on, I don't know what we picked for it on Messy Pin, or if we actually did Messy Pin. I can see that'd be a 72, 73 sort of game, nothing special. I think it's like, yeah, I'm just getting this because I've got a new console and I want to play something between now and Donkey Kong for the next month. Because again, I'm also off on holiday when like the Switch 2 comes out. Like, I will most probably finish Mario Kart World in like 1 or 2 days. Knowing me is well, I don't know how much content that is, but it's like, oh, I've bought my Switch 2. I've finished Mario Kart. It's June 7th now. Like, what am I doing for a month? Now my new 450 quid console. Not a lot. Yeah.
But it sounds like the Switch 2 it's not deading like completely. It's just kind of biding your time. That's what it sounds like, Pengi.
Yeah. It's biding its time until, like I said, there is games coming for it, and that's like when the Switch 2 did get announced. Like the whole where you're joking, Penguins is like, get one of those bunch of games. Like I said, there is games: Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Pokemon. I think that's it this year. Am I missing anything, Dave? And don't say Dragon Drive, because
for new games, no. But I suppose obviously that includes Echoes of Wisdom, and anything you've missed already, right?
Kirby Air. So it's like those
the
5
games, and I know it's replaying games, right? But I suppose that's the sum. It's difficult because I completely understand some of the reasoning. Like, I agree that because I've also cancelled all of my additional games because I was kind
Mhm.
of going, am I just spending 65 quid because this is a launch?
Y-
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's what it felt. That's what it felt like. It's like I look
yeah,
at Cyberpunk and it's like that game. I think is 20 quid at the moment on PlayStation.
yeah,
For
hmm
instance, it's like it would run better on there. And that is like I do want to kind of, like I said, kind of support CD Projekt Red. Like they are doing a proper physical. That is cool. And it's like, they do the thing support the devs, but it's also just like 65 quid for a game that I have actually played on Xbox One, or the Xbox One version, like 1.0. It's like it's a game I have already played. I can get it way cheaper elsewhere, sort of thing. And they are kind of, like I said, kind of like the same for the users. Like it's 45 quid. You can get Yakuza free. I say Yakuza free. Yakuza Zero at the moment on Steam, for instance,
it's
for
14.99. Yeah,
15.99.
it's 59 is the RRP for just the plain
Yeah,
version.
I know this is in Japanese and that's got an English dub and it's got 20 minutes new content. But I don't know what the 20 minutes new content is. I've not played the uh, game. The 20 minutes could be the first 20 minutes or the last 20 minutes. I have no idea. And like playing it in Japanese would not really bother me that much. For instance, like yeah, I can get this game for 30 quid less on my PC. I don't know how much it is on PlayStation at the moment. So it's like, yeah, that sort of thing. And then even stuff coming, it's like, oh, Star Wars Outlaws, how thrilling. That's 50 quid. I, yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose I'm sure I don't know if Craig would
I
agree.
guess it's a bit of, like, I know a lot of people that are, like, in, like, the GNamer forum and a Tired of Hold Hack Discord, for instance, like, are Nintendo only. So, like, them getting Cyberpunk is really cool. So I guess it's a bit of my own problem playing on almost every console. Like, I do play Xbox, it's just my Xbox is now a PC. Is like I play on every console, so like these games aren't new to me, sort of thing. But it's like, yeah, Nintendo's output day one is Mario Kart and Welcome Tour. You know,
Yeah, and it's difficult because again, it is the
and I'm
pen.
not to say Mario Kart is not going to be a bad game. That's the game's most one of the best games of the year, sort of thing. It just seems crazy to then spend £400+ just to play Mario Kart.
Depends what you like, obviously. Because for me personally, Mario Kart is gonna be Mario Kart 8 has been my most played favorite game for the last two Nintendo consoles. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, I have never once considered it a single player game, so it's a completely different value proposition for me.
Yeah,
Personally, obviously, again, I get people are different. Yeah, it's difficult because again, it's what you want. Like for me, like from what I see the Switch 2 as, is for me it's a leveled up Switch.
hmm
I'll play the Nintendo games when they come out, but in between that, I'll play on PC and Xbox. So I'm not really like I don't need to buy every game. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. Like I've
yeah,
got
yeah.
I've got Donkey Kong pre-ordered for July. That's cool. I might pick up Kirby in August because I haven't played Kirby. So the £16 worth of the DLC, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you, because I think if I went onto the Xbox store right now, the average expansion price for games is probably between 10 and 20 for an actual
Yeah,
expansion.
most probably.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that I don't mind. I don't agree with the Zelda thing being £8, just make it free. But like for Kirby and Mario Party, from what I've seen so far, I think £16 is fine. It doesn't that I don't think that's the problem. It's an expansion more than just um like for the sake of it being
An
upgrade, right?
upgrade.
Like the
Mm.
PlayStation. My problem with some of the PlayStation games is like literally you're paying £10 for graphics, like the Switch, like Zelda. I don't agree with that, but like when it's content, I'm cool with. But like that's in August, and then in September we'll probably get I don't know Metroid, and then Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah,
So for
so
me,
like,
one a month that's
yeah,
absolutely fine because
yeah.
I'll
See, that's
supplement
what I
that
am thinking.
with the
You
rest
get
of
to
it.
September, and we've had Mario Kart, we've had Donkey Kong, we've had let's say Dragon Drive in August, and we've had Metroid in September. I was like, okay, now I got a few things to play. So once I have finished Mario Kart or whatever, I can jump into Donkey Kong.
What happens if you can't get one before Christmas
I'll get one.
because it's sold out?
Yeah, I'd be able to get one.
Craigo, your thoughts on one where you are with the Switch 2, and two what you think of the Pengle's points as to why he doesn't want it to get it for himself.
I mean, I think it makes sense for Pengi. I mean, it's been weird, like following along with Pengi. Something I said to you before, David. It's like, I don't know if Pengi was excited or not about the Switch 2 at this
No,
point.
no.
You know, it kind of it felt like it was like almost like, why is he buying this? It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like he's there for it. So if you're not there for it, then you obviously shouldn't bother buying it. It
No.
kind of makes sense, especially when you had so much stuff pre-ordered at one stage, and you're just like, well, you spending. I don't know what the total spend was at one stage. Maybe it must have been £700 or something like that along those lines.
Yeah, it was about that. Wait, about that. 'Cause,
Yeah, so you definitely shouldn't be paying that much money for something that um you're not kind of enthusiastic for, right? Just you shouldn't be paying that much just for the sake of it, 100%. So I think for him cancelling it if he's not there for it for whatever reasons, whether we agree or disagree, it makes sense
Mhm.
for Pengi definitely.
hmm Yeah, I like
Um,
cancel. I did have Street Fighter pre-ordered, but I cancelled that a while ago. Like that was also another one. Was like I've played this. I'm only really keeping it because I'm only getting it for 35 quid, where it's supposed to be 50. It's like, oh, I'm getting it because it's a deal. Like, I've done that in the past with like other games, and Dave, you've done it often. Like
Oh
we
yeah.
see a deal, and we're like, oh, that's a good deal. And it's like, oh, Street Fighter 2 is getting new content, and season pass and weird Joy-Con modes. Oh, it's 35 quid. That's way cheaper. Sort of thing. It's like, am I that bothered of replaying Street Fighter 6? I should say, again on Switch 2. Not really. Not thing. I was like, and when you have Soul Calibur 2 as an option as well, which is a better fighting game, even if it's like 20 years older, maybe even older than that now. It's like, yeah, I'm not really fussed about that. It's just like the games. Yakuza does look cool. I do think that, and is one I do sort of want to play. But I have other options to play, and like I said, it's first on Nintendo Switch. Now, would I want to pay 45 quid for it on PS5? Maybe not either. But yeah. But because
yeah, I'd
then
be
it's you
surprised about
also.
like the games that you guys were kind of pre-ordering and all, because it's like, yeah, it's like, these games have been available on other means for ages. Like,
Mm,
is it
yeah.
just having something at launch, something in your hands?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want something coming
Yeah.
through that door, don't
Yeah.
you? You want the
Yeah.
postman coming.
Yeah, and there isn't anything else like new. The survival kids, which is like also 40 quid digital only, and like I have no idea what that game really is. I know the Game Boy one's being added to NSO, the original, but it's like that's like one of the few things that's new. There's Welcome Tour, which is not Nintendo are charging money for. Okay, it's only 8 quid, but they're still charging money for that. Where Astro and Desk thing on Steam are free. Um, and that like Fast Fusion is one of the few like standout new games, and it is a racing game, same as Mario Kart. That is the thing with that one. So yeah.
But Krago.
How long do you reckon before he goes back?
Oh,
How long?
it'll be July. But Krago, why? Where are you at with the Switch? That's the interesting conversation I want to have, because you don't talk about it as often, and you're not as how do I put this, obsessive as me and Pengi. So where are you at with your Switch excitement at the
Yeah, no,
moment?
I'm still very keen. I'm off. We'll just throw my phone across the room.
Nice.
I'm still off that week as well, so that's quite nice. I was just checking my Amazon pre-order. It's still saying it's coming on the Saturday, the 7th, which would be interesting to see if it does or not.
Yeah, I hope not.
Um,
You haven't had a lot of luck
no,
with Amazon and consoles, though. I did say this to Chloe. I was like, Craig's Amazon console record is not good.
no, it isn't. But it was also the easiest, like laziest way to pre-order it for me. So
Yeah.
basically, if it wasn't Amazon, it probably wouldn't have happened. In all honesty,
No.
the fact that I just clicked the button and I got an email the next day, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was just if I was having to jump through hoops in other ways, I probably just wouldn't bother at all. So, and at the end of the day, there's so much to play if it does come on the Saturday. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I'm sure I won't feel too left out. So yeah, no, I'm still excited. Mario Kart. Obviously, I've not pre-ordered anything. I'm Mr. Boring. I'm just taking the vanilla Mario Kart. But I think from what we've seen, there's going to be plenty there for me. America and Donkey Kong's not long away at all. So if that,
Yeah.
there's only a month, and there's other stuff as well. I could, be like, oh, maybe I'll pick up something like Rift of the Necro Dancer on there because we said before how that game looks good and seems pretty reasonably priced as well.
Hmm.
So, and that's only on the Switch, so
Yeah, and obviously you
might
haven't
make
played
sense.
any of the old games, so if you were like, I want to play Wind Waker, or I don't fucking know, Mario Kart 64 or F-Zero X and GX, for example, they're available to you for the service if you need it to be, right? So
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think it'd be long till we get a bit of a blowout on dates for these
Well, there is
games
rumours
they've
of a
announced.
Nintendo Direct, isn't there, as well? Either this week or next week, I think. Was it next weekend or the following week? It's
there'll be one.
soon.
There will be one before, either just after launch or just before. I think there'll be one just after launch because they always do a June/July one, don't they? So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, in terms of my pre-orders, Craig, I'm basically the same as you plus a Pro controller. That's where I'm at because I was like, I did the Penguin thing where I had like 3 games pre-ordered, and then I was like, am I going to play Cyberpunk before Donkey Kong? No, because I'm going on holiday, and like you said, it's too expensive. Cancel that. I was like, Bravely Default. Do I want to replay Bravely Default, even though it's a quote unquote deal? Like, no, I've played Bravely Default. It can wait. So I'm kind of I'm really excited for Mario Kart because me and my girlfriend play Mario Kart every single day. So it's not for me. It's like Mario Kart is Football Manager levels for me. Like I literally play
Mm.
Mario Kart every day. So like I'm happy to play. I would have bought a PS5 Pro at launch had Mario Kart been a launch game. Like that's where I'm at with Mario Kart. It's my one of my big 5, Craig. So my big 5 are Mario Kart, Pokemon, Halo, Gears, Forza Horizon. I will buy anything for those 5 games. Um, Historically, it is true, and I will continue to do it. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I've also cancelled everything else. I think the only thing I've got pre-ordered is Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I'm actually quite excited for because it's a bit different, isn't it? It looks like quite a pretty game. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm really interested because that's like I'm really excited for that as well. But like seeing people like in previews, not too much negative here, but seeing like it seems a little bit mixed on previews. Like I've seen some people really seem like quite impressed with it, and other people seem to think it might not be quite at the level of something like Mario Kart. So it'd be interesting to see where that does land when it comes out. But there is also the asterisk that a lot of these people are like, yeah, we only actually played it for like 10 minutes at an event, so
yeah, with like the basic,
that game does
yeah,
look really cool.
yeah. Same with
Mm.
kind of like Metroid. I think people have been like, either it's oh my god, this is the best thing since sliced bread, or they've been like, oh yeah, it's Metroid, and it's like okay, we'll get there when we get it right. Um, but yeah, Mario Kart and Pokemon in 1 year is for me. Like I would have bought the console and waited 2 months and not played a game just so I was ready for it. So there we go. But yeah, we've only got one more show before the Switch 2 comes out, so we'll check in with Pengi next week, see if he's
Mm.
kept his pre-order or not, and then obviously me and Craig and Pengi will do a kind of we'll go through the launch games maybe and kind of rank them what we're most like. We'll do some sort of Switch 2 thing next week for sure. Unless a big thing happens this week. So let's move on to the last section of the show. That's the what we've been buying and what we've been playing. So to break tradition, I'm actually going to go first because I very rarely go first. Excuse me. So my only pickup was the Witcher 3 controller, which we talked about, with me and Craig have both bought. Holding it in my hands right now. I love it. Pardon me. So on the Xbox, as I said to Pengi and Craig, I've played the Xbox retro games. It was fine. It was okay. I've got quite a tolerance for bad old games, right? So it's cool that it's got the challenges and stuff. Like it's kind of like a packaged version of like Rare Replay, like within Xbox. So and they've said it's going to expand
Mm.
every month. So I'm in. It's one of those like it's a harmless half a gigabyte download on the console. That's got relatively just play it achievements. So we'll keep seeing what that is. Other games on the Xbox, I have gone back to EA WRC, boys, because I did not realise it was on EA Play. So I was like, oh, okay, because I got the game physically. I got it for Christmas from Chloe a couple of years ago, and I had my Series X. And I got a lot of achievements, but I didn't get all the achievements. And you know how I feel about having a rally game on the go. And this is kind of the last one, right? So I was like, okay, I'll download it. I've been playing it quite a lot today and yesterday. It's really good. If you haven't played EA WRC and you like the kind of point-to-point rally games, I do really recommend it because it is really good. It's not as simmy as Dirt Rally. It's much closer to the traditional Call of Duty, the traditional Colin McRae rally games from the original Xbox days, really. And I really recommend it. It's really fun. It's got quite a lot of content now as well, which is cool. And in celebration of the controller, boys, I have gone back to The Witcher 3. So I've been playing that today. I carried on my save, just like added all the complete edition stuff. So I've got all of the new camera, the new content, the new performance features and stuff. Game's really good. The story's really cool, and I've played a bit too much Gwent. Got railed by a blacksmith on Gwent earlier. By the way, Craig, didn't end well. But yeah,
Happens. We've all been there.
yeah, and it's just a great game. So it's one of those I was like, especially when I was considering pre-ordering Cyberpunk, I was like, I kind of want to play The Witcher 3. And get that finished because it's one of those. It's been a monkey on my back for now 10 years, right? 10th anniversary. So I've been playing that. It's been enjoyable. On the Steam.
Also, how is that game 10 years?
Oh, don't! It's terrifying. Like I said to Chloe, like we're getting dangerously close to 9 years. No, it's 10 years in February 2026 is when the 10-year anniversary of when me and Pengi did the first episode of Pod of War. And it doesn't feel like we've been doing this podcast for 10 years, Pengi, but it is getting it's getting up there in numbers, which is wild. Jesus Christ. But yeah, on Steam Deck, and a game we actually talked about quite heavily at the start of Pod of War was Uncharted 4. I've been playing it more and more on Steam Deck. I know I talked about it a little bit last week, but I can go into a little bit more detail now. It's a fantastic throwback to my favourite era of PlayStation, Pengi. It's a very linear, story-driven third-person platform, third-person shooter, action-y kind of game. It looks amazing on Steam Deck. Like it's basically the PS4 Pro settings, but with obviously the Steam Deck resolution, so everything runs at like 60 high stuff. It's a very attractive game that is very well suited to a handheld. To go from Golden Abyss to this is a huge jump for like a handheld Uncharted game. It's a really good handheld game as well because it's chapter based. So I'm basically playing like
but
a
you
chapter.
have got the one. Is it in Madagascar? The one like the big
the open world bit,
chapter?
yeah, which is like the
yeah,
which is like the precursor to the Lost Legacy, right? Which is like
Legacy, yeah.
Yeah, which also is in the package. So so I'm playing like a chapter a night at the moment. It's 22 chapters from my memory of the game. So
have you done the ballroom?
Yes, I think it's the chapter I've just done.
I've done that.
But yeah, I'm really really enjoying playing that again. Like I said, it's when I was having I think I've been contemplating making some videos on my channel about like my favorite eras of different platform holders, like my favorite era of Xbox, my favorite era of Nintendo, my favorite era of Sega, my favorite era of PlayStation. So I thought that might be a good video, or might be a good tots one day. But yeah, this was kind of when I liked PlayStation the most, when this game came out, and I was very much reminded about how good the game was. I've had my headphones in for the 3D audio, like turn the lights off, play like an hour and a half on the Steam Deck, and yeah, it's a really good experience. It's a really good game. I really recommend all of the Uncharted games to Craig. I know I say this quite regularly. It's one of those games I kind of go, Craig, buddy, can we just like you'll love this? They're not long.
I'm still not sure if Uncharted 1 might put because it has aged. It wasn't that great when it came. It was like it was a high 7, low 8 sort of game when it came out in 2007. But compared to like Uncharted 2 and 4, it's nowhere near as good.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Then it's a weird one to jump straight into Uncharted 2.
The PS4 port of Uncharted 1 is a lot better than the PS3 version was, because they've upgraded a lot of the like how the game feels. I think it's fine. I think as well it's one of those things.
Yeah.
When you
I think the
trilogy.
comparison for Craig, and I guess the thing is Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2. So it's like Craig, like would you? Like
it's a lot better than a lot better than Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah, it's a lot better than that, but it's like. And obviously the story is connected, so it's like, do you really want to play Assassin's Creed 1, where 2 is, 2 is so much better, but then you're going to lose out on story and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously...
Is one Drake's Fortune?
Yes.
In fact, I'm looking on how long to beat now. I think it's only like 8 hours.
Yeah, they are the atypical, like, 2 evenings a week, like, popcorn film games. And because they're all chapter...
4 is the longest. 4 is pretty long.
4 is 15.
Is it
yep.
long? That's short.
Yeah.
I thought it was longer than that.
No, it is 15, according to How Long to Beat.
That's pretty.
And it's
pretty good.
one of those things, like I was saying, because it's chapter based and linear. I always enjoyed just going, right, well, I'm like Uncharted 1, like, right, well, there's 15 chapters, I'm going to play 2 chapters tonight, like for an hour, and then whatever. But yeah, it's, if you ever get some downtime and you just want to basically play a filmy game, play Uncharted, Drake's Collection on the PS4 versions, or on PS5 Plus, and then if you enjoy those, which you will, like, you'll play one and be like, this is okay, then you'll play two and be like, holy fuck, why have I not played this?
The train.
Well, like the whole thing, and then like 3 is just 2 again, but in a different setting.
Yeah,
And then
three's a bit weird.
I like 3
See,
more
I
than
don't think
2,
it's-
but it's
to
different
me, it's
strokes.
just Uncharted 2, but with a different skin.
Yeah, it's Uncharted 2, but in the desert instead of the snow, and it's great. And then Uncharted 4 is, I think, an incredible game.
Weirdly, I think you might like 4 the most, Craig. 1 is the newest, and 2, you've played Last of Us as well. And obviously, Neil Druckmann is, I think, the director of Uncharted 4.
It
So
is.
you
It
can
is
definitely feel
a lot better
It
than Last of Us, though, Krigo.
it has got
A
his
lot
mitts on it. And Lost
better.
Legacy is great.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, great series. So that's what I'm playing on Steam Deck, and then finally on Nintendo Switch 1. So I've got to get used to saying Switch 1. I've been playing more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Obviously, I play an hour a night at least. I've actually jumped on with Luke from the forum a couple of times in my quest to stop him getting his first place. So he's I don't know if you've seen this, Craig, 'cause I know you don't go on the forum, but one of the lad that's in Japan, Luke, he's playing Mario Kart every night until he wins, until the new game comes out. So he's had streams that he's won the first race, then he's had streams where he's been sat there for an hour and a half. So he's playing online.
Oh, what he wins that night?
Yeah.
I thought this was like a like, is he that bad? He's like never won or something.
No, he's really good. He's a lot better than I am. But we played. I played with him the other night, and I think I won like 3rd race. And in his live stream, he was like, "Oh," but then I think I was 12th the next race, because that's
Nice.
the power of online Mario Kart, as you will get used to, Craigo, with the new one. But yeah, so I've played a lot of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I've said this to my girlfriend a few times. Like, it's 11 years since this originally came out for Wii U. So like, my excitement levels for Super Mario Kart World are so high that I'm trying to forget about it because I'm so excited. So when that game does arrive on the door, so hopefully, like I said, on launch day, I got promoted at work. I booked a fucking. They give you, when you got promoted, Craig, extra 2.5 days holiday you get when you go up a grade to a manager. So I was like, I'll know what day and a half I want off. So I'm pretty prepared. I think Chloe's away. I think Chloe's in Croatia with her nan for that week, and I was like, oh no, you're away and I'm off work, and the new games console's coming out. Oh no. What a shame. So I'm expecting a couple bottles of Pepsi Max, some Doritos, the headsets ready to chat to the boys. I think everyone's going to be online that first weekend. So yeah, really excited. But yeah, that's what I've been buying and playing. Craigo, what have you been up to, my man?
So in terms of buying, it was just the controller, obviously, like we said. And then in terms of playing, I've done a bit more of Bloom and Raid on the PlayStation via the portal. I think I'm about halfway through the second tape now, according to PlayStation.
Nice.
I think it was just 50% or something like that.
Nice.
Still quite enjoying that. Just chilling, playing it every now and again on the portal. It's weirdly a very good handheld game. We'll keep cracking on with that. Try and get that wrapped up fairly soon. And I would quite like to get Destroy All Humans 2 on the go on the portal next, because that is one of the backlog games. So that would be a good one to knock off, I think, handheld, definitely. And then on the Xbox, it's just been more Doom, basically, boys. I think I just finished the 12th chapter of 22. So a little bit, just a tiny bit over halfway. Like I said last time, there's quite a bit of content, it feels, in this game. Quite surprised by like seeing 22 chapters. I mean, some of them are quite short. Some of the ones where you're doing in the big mech aren't particularly long. But there are ones where you kind of like, you're in the mech for a bit, and then you're on foot. You're flying your dragon for a bit, and then you're on foot, and you're back flying again. So yeah, looking on true achievements now. I'm just under 12 hours um playtime. So yeah, I don't know how long the actual game is. I mean, I am being a little bit Craig-like and trying to get like as many as the secrets and collectibles and whatever else in the levels as I can, as opposed to just holding down that sprint button and running to the end. So that's probably, like normal, making me take a little bit longer. But that's part of the fun of these like modern Doom games for me, is figuring out how to get all the like the secrets and stuff like that. And there is like always cool little puzzles to get them. So it kind of breaks up the just run, shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot. But the game itself is brilliant. Combat is just phenomenal. Like all the controls just feel so like perfect. I mean, you'd expect they've been making Doom games for how long at this point, boys? God knows.
35 years?
And even this like more modern version of Doom, like Doom 2016. In our heads, 2016 was not that long ago, but it's nearly 10 years ago,
Yeah.
boys.
Jesus.
In our heads, Doom 2016 is like a new game, right? That was the start of this trilogy, right?
Oh,
But
yes.
yeah, it's a long time ago now, actually. So yeah, it does make sense that yeah they've kind of nailed it now. And yeah, from what I've been playing so far, I think it's definitely going to be like a front runner for like game of the year. When we get to that, definitely, because yeah, it is fantastic. And that's it. That's all I've been playing recently.
Nice, Craig. Well, yeah, I suppose it's yeah, I wonder if I suppose the plan is to finish Doom before Switch 2 Day, and then you can move on to play something else.
Yeah, that'd be ideal, definitely. Actually, I'm off from the Tuesday, I think, that week to switch to. So I've got a couple of days, even if it does come on release day. I've got a couple of days where I could try and smash out some Doom, definitely.
Hell yeah. Right, Pengi, take us home. What have you been buying and playing this week?
So pickups, nothing. Nothing
Very rare
at
week
all.
when me and Craig have bought something and you haven't.
Yep. Yeah. And then played. It's just more Liza P, guys. It's just more Liza P, which I thought last week. Oh, I ain't got actually that much left to go. I beat this monster. I was struggling on beat them. I don't think I got that much to go. I only had like one more chapter or area to go. I'm on the final boss. But that last area or chapter is quite a long one. You get a like game named boss. You get two other sort of ones that you can fight or not fight. I fought one, didn't fight the other. Of them, there's a proper boss fight during that chapter as well, where you get proper cutscenes and achievement or trophy, I should say, on that. And then obviously I am on the last boss, but that last chapter is a good few hours long and stuff like that. But I am basically at the end done. There is another boss, an optional one, if I wanted to do it, but the actual main story, there's one to go, sort of thing. That is it, and obviously there has been Liza P overture previews this week, which seem pretty positive of that game, and there's going to actually be some free updates for Liza P, like the regular version as well, like a boss rush mode and things like that. And they're adding easy mode, Craig. They're adding a mode for Dave, an easy mode.
Wow, I feel like that's an attack.
Yeah.
I just like good games. No, it doesn't matter if they're...
Well, actually adding two easy modes, or an easy and a normal, and this is now hard, what I'm playing on, I guess, is what they're doing. But yeah.
That's as hard as the guide you're following in it, Craig.
I've not followed a guide on this. So, yeah. But,
Nice.
that was it. Just, yeah.
Very concise Pengle's week. Which means there will be a week soon where he plays and buys 40 games.
Well, like I said, I am on holiday soon, and at the moment, I'm planning not to have a Switch 2, so what I play that week, who knows?
Just spend the whole podcast just stood there saying nothing with me and Craig like, oh, Mario Kart's the best. Oh, it's so cool that you can fucking plug a mouse in. But anyway.
I guess Elden Ring would have been out by then as well.
Yeah, Night Ring comes out on this Friday. I think it's this Friday.
Is it this Friday? Okay, so I was going to say if it's after the Switch 2, you're going to have trouble dragging the boys off of their Switches, but if it's before, then it's not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well, that's the show. Thank you all for watching. If you got this far, let us know in the comments what you think of the Switch 2 and what you've been buying and playing, and how sexy the Witcher controllers look, because me and Craig just need to be reaffirmed. But we will be back next week, like I said, for the last pre-Switch 2 episode, and we will talk about some stuff there. But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.